Yo, what's up? So this video today is gonna be about the sentencing of Marion Suge Knight, the Death Row Records CEO. And I found out yesterday when I got back, it's a 28-year bid. Probably gonna be like 20. He been in the joint. He was in county for like about 4 or 5 years. You know, Suge was something else, yo. I mean, take the foolery a ride. And it's sad too, because that brother really had some game as far as handling his business. You know, I mean, Eazy-E aside, and Luke Campbell aside, and Russell Simmons aside, Suge was like really handling things. I mean, you think about when the Chronic came out, you know, and it's thinking about, man, 25, 30 years ago, when that record came out, you couldn't even have a stick of the album and all that. And now you got all this stuff going on now where rapping became like, you know, the mainstream and everything that's going on. But at the time when Suge was rolling with it, it was just a different ball game. It was like a whole different atmosphere. And the Chronic came out, and um, you know, all that took off. You know, all that, nothing but a G thing. All that, those hit songs. You know, multi-platinum. Then you get the Unknown with Snoop. Snoop Dogg blew up. That was multi-platinum. You know, Above the Rim soundtrack, Murder Was the Case, Dog Pound, all that was huge, you know. And of course, they brought this guy who goes by the name of Tupac Shakur. I think you kind of heard of him. He comes over to the row, to Death Row, multi-platinum, you know. And then he was killed. That became a martyr. But the whole thing was is that it had so much talent and depth on board. And let's be realistic. Yeah, Jimmy Iovine spun it with Dr. Dre and all that, but man, Suge was rolling with things. I mean, he had Dick Griffey, and he had Michael Harris, you know, and his wife and them all behind the scenes. But and Suge was really making that thing pop, you know, for a minute before, you know, he got into that lifestyle. Because the very same thing that he dissed the East Coast and Puffy for, you know the phrase, all in the videos, all come to the road. He started being on magazine covers and smoking a cigar. And you got to understand that when you are owning something with the business, you got to stay in the owner's box. Think about the Dallas Cowboys. Jerry Jones, he always all down on the field, all in the cameras. No, man, you the owner. You sign the checks. You stay out the scenes. You got to lay in the cut. So it was sad that Suge, the insecurity and the narrowness got the best of him to get caught up in this foolery on the set of that Straight Outta Compton set where two guys got killed, unfortunately, and rest in peace, because it should not have come to that. It should not have come to that. Suge Knight should have been a Hall of Famer based on what his track record for all his hits and his success. Instead, you know, the son is just gonna be seen as a thug and somebody who just went lost his natural mind when he was one of the most successful, mind-blowing record executives in the business. I mean, he really had. You got to understand how the music business works. You got to not only know the streets, but you got to have the right talent, the right temperament. You got to know how to make that thing jump and pop. So to hear that he gonna get, you know, basically a death sentence, is 30-year bid because his third strike, and you know them judges is not gonna look at no black dude like him and feel sorry for his diabetes or whatever he's going through. They're gonna be like, lights out. You had chances. You had the American dream times two. So it's bittersweet because on one hand, yeah, he brought this on himself. On the other hand, man, Death Row Records was the truth for a moment. It was the, you know, the thing that get cash money, young monies, all the money. And they still gonna have to tell a Suge Knight story. One of these days they will. But you know, it was tough to hear about that yesterday in a way, because it was like, man, that could really be the last straw right there with that cat. And I remember it was just like yesterday when you say Death Row Records. It was just like yesterday. So that's my thoughts and my takes on Suge Knight getting that 30-year bid. Do have reflections on his mind, what he did on the music. And I would choose to just elect to keep the mind on when they were running things at Death Row. So, you know, that's my type. All right, later.